So let me show you what we're going to be working on next. This steering gearbox pitman arm shaft is leaking and the seals are up in here. And so I've got a kit that has the inner and outer seal and a couple washers and a snap ring. So the trick to this is you can take this pitman arm off and then basically put the nut back on to capture the seals when they blow out. But after you take the pitman arm off, you start the vehicle up and you crank the steering left and right, and the pressure will push those seals out. And then basically you put the new seals back in the same order, put your snap ring on, and put your pitman arm back on, and you're good to go. All right, so let's get started on that. And one of the reasons I want to capture these seals is so that it doesn't, so that I can keep the order. I know exactly how it goes back together. Look how smart I is. let me show you where I'm at with the Cherokee steering box. Okay, I ran into trouble. I think this thing sat because, like I said, that gearbox is new. It's been in there probably for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And it sat and sat and sat without being driven. I can only assume that what happened is condensation basically is heavier than the oil, so it basically moved to where these seals were and rusted everything in place. So they would not come out by pressurizing it, and so I ended up trying to use a screw, tap a screw in there and pull the seals out. That didn't work, so it was becoming such a hassle that I figured I'd take it out of the vehicle, and if I can't get these seals out on the bench, then I'm just gonna have to take and buy a rebuilt one. Unfortunately, these things used to be $100 for remanufactured. Now they're like 178, 180 bucks. So if I can get these seals out, that'll save me a buttload of money. So I'm gonna continue working on that, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, so I was able to get it out. This thing fought me tooth and nail, and I had to modify one of the tools. I had to modify this pick and make it narrow enough to get between the shaft and the housing so that I could drill a hole and push it in and pry the seal out. One thing I did notice though is because I kept track of what came out of there. I had two seals. I had a thicker and a thinner seal. The thinner seal goes on the inside, the thicker seal goes on the outside, and there's a washer in between them. I got 2 washers with my kit, but I am not going to put 2 washers back in there because apparently this one was refurbished by a company that does this, so I'm going to copy what they did. All right, so I'm going to use a large enough socket that it's a 32. It will cover the seal, and so I'm going to grease up those seals, pound them in, put the washer in between them, and then put the nut, or I'm not going to put the nut back on it, but I'm going to put the retaining clip back on it. All right, stay tuned. All right, after fussing and fighting, and the socket wasn't deep enough to go over the shaft, so I had to get a piece of pipe. And because I'm smarter than the average bear, I made sure to put the washer on top of the first seal when I pounded it in, and then the washer on top of the second seal when I pounded it in. And that's when I noticed, hey, I've got enough clearance, plenty of clearance to get the clip on there with the double washers. And so I put them on, and actually it's a little bit deeper than the clip, but if you understand hydraulics is going to be behind this, and it'll push that seal up against this retaining ring. So this looks like it's going to work. It's going to save me bazillions of dollars, and I'll go ahead and post this up on video so that you can see it. It did not go as easy as I've done it in the past, where the power steering pump just pushes them out for you. This was like a nightmare. So you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to spend an hour and a half fussing and fighting with this thing, or do you want to spend $200 to get another one? All right, Rocky out.